Hey everybody, how's it going? On today's video, we are going to be talking about an audiobook that has 11 authors and 13 narrators collaborating together to make an intense experience for you. For those that are wanting to know more or dip their toe into the lit RPG space, I would say this would be a good book to do that and kind of experience it. It's really good collaborative effort on that front. So, what audiobook am I talking about? This is called Legends of Progression. And yeah, there's a lot of people that are collaborating on this book, and it's just really cool and really awesome. And I really want to talk to you about it. This audiobook length is 14 hours and 27 minutes. So, through all that time, you're getting multiple narrators and multiple authors and their stories throughout this whole experience, which I think is pretty cool. I'm not going to go through all the authors that are part of this and all the narrators that are part of this. I will have a link in the description of this video where you can go click on, go to Audible, and check it out and see all the cool and awesome, amazing people that have come together to make this audiobook experience. So we're going to just go right into the prose because really there's a bunch of short stories that I can't really get into and tell you about each of the summaries like I normally do in a single audiobook. But yeah, it's just a really great experience. So let's go ahead and dive into those prose. First, interesting stories. There were a lot of interesting stories that I really enjoyed and was like, wow, I wish there was more of it. But again, I feel like this is a lit RPG sampler audiobook is what I feel like it is. But I really enjoyed the stories and they really had some interesting concepts. And I feel like the fact that we're doing like short stories, it feels like you can really, gives the authors the time to make something that is interesting and kind of concise. And that is just like, here's a story, enjoy. And then here's my narrator. And it's just like, ooh, okay, I really enjoy this. And this is really cool. And it's really kind of a nice breakup from the series that have 15 books going on in that series, or all these books. In this audiobook, you're just getting, just a taste of a story, and you're seeing how that plays out and what interesting things happen in that. And it's just really cool. And some of them, like, I wish they had their own story and had their own series, and you could just get into it and really enjoy that. But it's a bunch of short stories, and I just really enjoy it. The next thing I want to talk about is the cool character builds. There are some interesting characters with interesting abilities, and again, just a great story. And some of the characters that are brought out, and you're like, ooh, that's something I would like to see maybe in some of my favorite audiobooks and favorite series, to see someone with this, or even just a whole series that is based around this kind of like system or ability or character, and it just was really cool. Next is just the ability to sample a bunch of narrators. There are 13 narrators in this series, and it was just really cool to experience some of those narrators. And it was just like, okay, wow, this is really interesting, or wow, I've never heard of this person before, and it was a really great opportunity to experience their voice with this story. But yeah, and then the next thing I really enjoyed was the short stories. Again, I've talked about this a little bit, but you have these series that have multiple books that go up to like, some of them are trilogies, 3, some of them have like, already, like The Wandering Inn has 15 audiobooks at the time of this recording. And so there's just some series that have a lot of books. And in this audiobook, you just get a short, concise story where it's like, this is what's going on, and this is what's happened at the end. Sometimes the story resolves right then and there, or sometimes it just leaves you to the imagination of like, oh, what could be happening since this character did this, and now they leave off in this kind of cliffhanger of like, what's going to continue and going on. So it leaves you just to the imagination, which I found interesting and cool. Next is throughout all of this, it left me wanting more. And what I mean by left me wanting more is like, so there are a various of authors that were part of this and narrators, and I would love to see more of these type of books to where authors could come in, write something small, and get a narrator and just really enjoy just kind of like making these short stories. I would love to have, audiobooks like this that are just themed, maybe even like to a season, or just more of this kind of like, hey, let's get a bunch of authors and narrators together and make a bunch of short stories and have people enjoy them, because it was fun. I really enjoyed some of the stories, and they just really I was just like, I just thought this concept was like, wow, this is like something people have just done. I mean, I know there's some authors that kind of collaborate on stories and series, but just to have so many come together and so many narrators come together and just make this leaves me wanting more of this, and of people getting together and just diving into it and really enjoying the process of making all these short stories and cool things, and getting these narrators together to narrate those stories and bring them to life. So those were my pros. And my cons list is very short, but it's just, I don't know, it's nothing that I had too extensively to say about it. And that is, my cons are short, but this is what it is. Some of the narrators I didn't enjoy, and shocker, you have all these narrators and all these stories, but yeah, there were some narrators that I didn't really enjoy. And on the second point of my cons is there were some stories I just didn't enjoy, and I think that's what you get with having so many different authors and narrators into this, that some of them you'll really enjoy and some of them you just won't. And that was just my kind of like the only con, is there were so many stories, and some of them I just didn't like, and some of the narrators I didn't like and just didn't enjoy. So, I mean, that's kind of what you get with something like this. Everyone's collaborating, and maybe you just have a story that you just don't really like. There's nothing wrong with it. Maybe someone else's thing, but there wasn't a story that was like, oh my gosh, this shouldn't have been a part of this collaboration. But no, it just wasn't for me, and I just didn't find it interesting. Other people might have found the other stories that I enjoy interesting, but yeah, that's what you kind of get in this situation. But that's really all the cons that I had. It's like, yeah, I didn't like some of the areas, and I didn't like some of the stories, so sue me. But that's what you get with this. But I think this is a great experience for people to kind of get a taste of some people's writing and some of the narrators, and I just really enjoyed it. So yeah, that is pretty much it of this whole experience. I really enjoyed Legends of Progression and thought it was a great idea, and kind of thought like, well, why haven't we done something like this? And maybe I've missed something, if I've missed something kind of like this, or if it's like just the audiobook space, and maybe in just the written space, this happens more often. I would love for people to shout out in the comments and let me know. But again, this was pretty cool, and I really am glad that everyone came together to make this, because there were some stories that were just like, I want more. There's just some concepts and some narrators. I'm just like, more please. Oh, I just gotta go find, on Audible or any audiobook website there where you narrate, or where you can get a book by this author. So yeah, I thought this was a pretty cool endeavor and would highly recommend it. Again, the cons are the cons, because you have so many people. But yeah, let me know what you're currently listening to in the comments below. And if you've listened to this audiobook, maybe let me know of some of your favorite stories and favorite narrators that you discovered through Legends of Progression. I would love to read those in the comments below. But yeah, so I'm going to let you guys go, because I got a ton more audiobooks to get into, and just a bunch of things to do. So yeah, until next time,